The CIoL Educational Trust has produced this DVD to provide guidance to centres and candidates in their preparation for the Diploma in Public Service Interpreting (DPSI) examination. It will also assist examiners and interlocutors on carrying out their roles as assessors for the DPSI examination. A separate DVD is available for examiners and interlocutors. Even though the roleplay shown in the DVD is in English and Polish, we have tried to ensure that the most common mistakes are easily recognizable for speakers of other languages. The DVD is not intended to be the definitive guide on how to tackle the DPSI examination, but it should give you a good idea on how to deal with the most important issues. We hope that you find this DVD useful. If you have any queries relating to the DPSI examination, then please contact the CIoL Educational Trust at the following address: Central Registration Department, CIoL Educational Trust, Saxon House, 48 Southwark Street, London, SE1 1UN, or alternatively on telephone 0207 940 3163. You may also visit our website at www.iol.org.uk or contact us directly at exams.crd@iol.org.uk. This DVD demonstrates both adequate and inadequate candidate performance in the DPSI. You will also see examples of appropriate and inappropriate conduct during the examination. Part 1. Interpreting. As you can see, the room that is to be used as the examination room has not been prepared properly. There are not enough chairs, items on the table have not been cleared away, and most importantly, there is no recording equipment. In order to avoid examination rooms being underprepared, centres must make sure that they follow the instructions and layout provided by the CIoL Educational Trust. Examination room layout. Please note that the examination room layout shown in this DVD has been altered slightly for the purposes of filming. The following slide illustrates the actual layout of an examination room. This is an example and will vary depending on the size and shape of the furniture provided by examination centres. The examiner may have to move during the examination in order to hear the candidate more clearly. The microphone should always remain near the candidate. Please be aware that some tape recorders have inbuilt microphones. Examination centres are responsible for all aspects of the examination organisation, up to the beginning of the examination, when the oral examiner takes over. Examination centres must therefore check the recording equipment, make sure that there are a sufficient number of tapes to record all candidates. There should be one tape per candidate and 90 minutes per tape. Correctly label the tapes as instructed by the CIoL Educational Trust. Ensure that the seating arrangements of the candidate and interlocutors and the position of the microphone allow for good quality sound recording. Provide all candidates with candidate prompt notes. Ensure that background noise is kept to an absolute minimum, as the recording equipment may pick up and reinforce other sounds, for example traffic noise or central heating.
Thank you. Okay, let's check they set the room up properly for us. I should be sitting here.
And I should be sitting here.
Yeah.
And I should sit here.
So this is the candidate seats. Right. Okay. The next thing to do is to check that the centre has displayed the examination in progress sign on the door.
I'll do that. Let me see if the centre has put it up.
Okay.
centre has remembered to do it.
Excellent. And the last thing is the tape recorder. Let's check if it's in a working order.
Right, I'll check that. This is a test. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. One, two,
Sounds
three,
okay.
4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Excellent. So if we're ready, we could invite the first candidate in.
While the assessing team has been busy with their final preparations, the candidate is outside reading through the candidate's prompt notes. The candidate has 5 minutes preparation time.
If you'd like to come through. Just take a seat there. Okay, I'll be the English interlocutor for the exam, and this is your Polish interlocutor, and here we have the oral examiner.
The candidate walks in wearing very casual clothes and does not carry a notepad or pen. She also looks lost, shy, and unfriendly.
Would you like to come through?
Good morning.
Morning.
Take a seat there, please. Okay, so I'm the English interlocutor for the exam. This is your Polish interlocutor, and here we have the oral examiner. Just to let you know that the oral examiner will be taking notes throughout the examination, and when we come to the whispered interpreting, she will move closer to you so that she can hear you translating better, and I will signal to you to move closer to myself or to the Polish interlocutor when the time arises. If I could just check your candidate number, please. Thank you. And I just need to check your voice level on the microphone, so in a moment I'll ask you to count from 1 to 10.
One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Okay, that seems to be in order. I now just need to record your candidate number. DPSI 2008, candidate number 1001976, English Law, Task 1A, Role Play in Polish. DPSI 2008, candidate number 1001976, English Law, Task 1A, Role Play in Polish. Okay?
Okay, is everybody ready?
Yes.
So let's start the examination.
The candidate walks in wearing more acceptable and appropriate clothes. In their professional work, interpreters must present themselves as competent professionals. In the examination, candidates should remember that they are being judged not only on their ability, but also consideration may be given as to how they present themselves. Inappropriate and unprofessional clothing, posture and attitude will give the wrong impression. The candidate is well prepared and carries a notebook and 2 pens. She looks confident, walks upright, and smiles to the examiner and interlocutors.
I'm the solicitor appointed to help you in connection with your arrest. I've been told that the charge is one of theft by shoplifting.
Dzień dobry, jestem prawnikiem, który został wyznaczony w związku z Pani aresztowaniem. Zostałem poinformowany, że została Pani aresztowana z powodu kradzieży w sklepie.
We can speak for as long as we need, by the way, and you'll not be asked to pay me anything for the interview.
Sorry, could you repeat that last bit, please?
And you will not be asked to pay me anything for the interview.
Although candidates are allowed to ask for repetition as long as it is reasonable, i.e., it does not impede the flow of dialogue or lead to misunderstanding, in this case, the candidate is showing lack of focus and could have avoided interrupting or making mistakes had she made notes. Candidates should also make sure that they use English words whilst speaking in their languages with discrimination, i.e., only when the English word is commonly used.
I'm the solicitor appointed to help you in connection with your arrest. I've been told that the charge is one of theft by shoplifting.
Jestem prawnikiem, który został wyznaczony w Pani sprawie aresztowania. Poinformowano mnie, że aresztowanie ma związek z kradzieżą w sklepie.
We can speak for as long as we need, by the way, and you will not be asked to pay me anything for the interview.
Możemy rozmawiać jak długo chcemy i nie zostanie Pani poproszona o zapłatę za tą rozmowę.
Super, dzięki. Fajnie, że w końcu raczył się tu ktoś pojawić, bo cała ta sytuacja zakrawa na jeden wielki absurd. Przetrzymują mnie tu zupełnie bezpodstawnie.
Thank you, that's great, because nobody appeared before, so I'm very pleased. Because all this situation is just a big absurd, and they keeping me here without any reason.
I understand that you were arrested about lunchtime today at a supermarket on suspicion of stealing some cigarettes.
Rozumiem, że została Pani aresztowana.
Note that the candidate is using her notepad to jot down information in order to facilitate her recall. Note also that the candidate is not rushing into interpreting, but takes some time to properly formulate the Polish version.
But suppose you tell me first if there's anything specific you'd like to know.
Ale może mi coś Pani powie, co Pani chce wiedzieć? Ma jakieś Pani pytania?
Nigdy wcześniej nie miałam żadnych problemów z prawem. Nikt mnie nigdy też za nic nie przyskrzynił. I pewnie, że mieszkam pod adresem, który podałam policji, no bo niby gdzie indziej miałabym mieszkać.
I've never had any problems with police. I wasn't nicked, and I lived in the address I gave to the police, where I would live anywhere else. I wouldn't live anywhere else.
W każdym razie poświadczy za mnie moja mama, jak tylko będę mogła się z nią skontaktować.
My mother can confirm that. If I can contact her.
Ale sama myśl o tym, co się ma jutro stać, przyprawia mnie mdłości.
But I'm very worried what is going to happen tomorrow. I'm feeling sick because of that.
The candidate is far too casual, is too hesitant, and does not interpret well.
Będę miał kilka pytań do Pani na temat tej sytuacji.
But suppose you tell me first if there's anything specific you'd like to know.
Ale może proszę mi powiedzieć, jeżeli ma Pani jakieś pytania.
Nigdy wcześniej nie miałam żadnych problemów z prawem. Nikt mnie nigdy za nic nie przyskrzynił i pewnie, że mieszkam pod adresem, który podałam policji, no bo gdzie indziej miałabym mieszkać.
I've never have any problems with the law, and I've never been nicked for anything. And of course I lived at the address that I gave to the police. Where else should I live?
W każdym razie poświadczy za mnie moja mama, jak tylko będę mogła się z nią skontaktować.
My mother can confirm that as soon as I can contact her.
Ale sama myśl o tym, co się ma jutro stać, przyprawia mnie mdłości.
But thinking about what's going to happen tomorrow makes me really sick.
The candidate has prepared herself properly. Note that the candidate is very focused and uses her notepad to help her concentrate on what is being said. She also speaks at a deliberate pace, not too slow and not too quick, and gives herself time to formulate English sentences properly. Her tone is serious and right for the situation.
No pewnie, okropnie mnie to gryzie, bo nie wiem, co się stanie, jak mnie postawią przed sądem i jeszcze na dokładkę mogę wylądować za to w kozie.
How will they keep me here? I'm going to contact someone. The police told me they caught me tomorrow.
The candidate has constructed a sentence which does not convey the correct subject matter and meaning.
No pewnie, okropnie mnie to gryzie, bo nie wiem, co się stanie, jak mnie postawią przed sądem i jeszcze na dodatek mogę wylądować za to w kozie.
Obviously, I'm gutted. I don't know what's going to happen and tomorrow in court, and additionally, I can end up in prison.
I co teraz będzie? Czegoś takiego jeszcze nigdy w życiu nie przeżyłam.
What's going to happen now? I've never had this sort of situation in my life before.
Jak długo mogą mnie tu przetrzymywać? Czy mam możliwość skontaktowania się z kimś?
How long are they going to keep me here? Do I have any right to contact anyone?
Policja coś bąknęła, że jutro mam się stawić w sądzie.
The police told me that I will appear in court tomorrow.
Yes, you will be appearing in the local magistrate's court in the morning.
Note that the candidate's English is clear and to the point.
You should be able to assure them that you do live at your stated address.
Musi Pani umieć ich zapewnić, że mieszka pod wyznaczonym adresem.
They will also consider your character and whether you've committed any offences before.
Również wezmą pod uwagę Pani charakter i czy popełniła Pani jakiekolwiek przestępstwa.
But don't worry, we'll talk about that later.
Proszę się nie martwić, porozmawiamy o tym później.
Suppose you tell me now, in your own words, what went on in the supermarket.
Proszę mi opisać własnymi słowami, co wydarzyło się w supermarkecie.
Do you want to move?
The English interlocutor adjusts the microphone and shows the candidate where to sit.
No więc dlatego podeszłam do lodówki, wyjęłam z niej puszkę i udałam się z nią do kasy. A ponieważ przy kasie są papierosy, to poprosiłam o 2 paczki po 20 papierosów każda. Facet w kasie akurat nawijał jak najęty przez komórkę i podał mi papierosy, nawet na mnie nie spoglądając. Miałam właśnie zapłacić, gdy nagle uświadomiłam sobie, że mama poprosiła mnie, żeby w drodze powrotnej zrobić zakupy. Chleb, mleko i płatki kukurydziane. Odeszłam więc od kasy, żeby rozejrzeć się o mały włos, a zaczęłyby mi lecieć przez ręce. Nie zawracałam sobie głowy żadnym tam koszykiem. Fajki były widoczne. Nie chciałam ich ukryć. Taka głupota nawet by mi przez myśl nie przeszła.
The candidate is unable to keep up with the interlocutor and misses out quite a few sentences. Her English is weak and often unclear. She also does not come across as being confident.
Facio na kasie sprawdzał ceny i jak już wszystko było podliczone, to zapłaciłam. I zaczęłam wychodzić całkowicie w tym momencie, nie pamiętając o papierosach. Myślami byłam zupełnie gdzie indziej, bo po pierwsze padałam z nóg, a po drugie zastanawiałam się, czy aby rzeczywiście kupiłam wszystko to, co mama kazała mi kupić.
The candidate is now providing proper whispered interpreting. Candidates, during the whispered interpreting section, you can help yourselves by taking charge of the interpreting, i.e. by asking the interlocutor to slow down or to speak more quickly if you believe they are speaking too slowly or too quickly. However, do not overdo this, because the situation has to be as real life as possible, and very often the speaker would slow down or speak faster just for a few seconds, only to resume their normal speed. Staying focused on what is being said and not letting anything else distract you. Candidates should be aware that requests for repetition or clarification are not acceptable during this part of the examination. Preparation, preparation, preparation. Make sure that your general knowledge of the DPSI option you have chosen is strong. Candidates should also ensure that they have read the DPSI handbook and the candidate regulations.
Mother told me to buy.
Okay. If you'd like to move back. Very well. Now, I want to ask you a few further questions, just to clarify some points. And
I'm sorry, I can't do anymore. I really want to stop. Can we have a break?
Okay, we can have a short break now, and once you calm down a little bit and compose yourself, we can start the roleplay again. I'm just going to make a note on the mark sheet.
the examination is suspended. The candidate wishes time to recompose herself. The time is 11:33.
Would you like some water?
Yes, please. Thank you.
Do you think we can start again? Examination?
Yes.
The examination is ready to continue. The time is 11:35.
The candidate will be marked down for this, but it does not necessarily mean an automatic fail. Good candidates can also be nervous.
Very well. Now I want to ask you a few further questions, just to clarify some points.
Bardzo dobrze. Teraz chciałbym zadać Pani parę pytań, żeby wyjaśnić parę spraw.
First, did you have sufficient money on you to pay for all your shopping, including the cigarettes?
Najpierw chciałbym się zapytać, czy miała Pani wystarczającą ilość pieniędzy, żeby zapłacić za całe swoje zakupy? This bloke, he took them.
Can you remember whether you actually passed through the checkout when the cashier started accusing you?
Czy pamięta Pani moment, kiedy przeszła Pani przez koło kasy i ten koleś zaczął Panią oskarżać?
Tak, myślę, że tak. Już wtedy przeszłam przez kasy. Byłam już przy wyjściu we drzwiach.
Yes, I think I had, but I passed out.
As you have seen, a number of mistakes have been made by the candidate, including incorrect use of English. She is also interpreting too slowly.
Do you remember if the cigarettes, both packs, were clearly visible when you were at the till?
Czy pamięta Pani, czy te paczki papierosów było widać, kiedy była Pani przy kasie?
Tego nie pamiętam, ale pewnie były widoczne, skoro ten facet przy wyjściu je zabrał.
I don't remember exactly, but I think they were quite visible because the guy at the counter took it away from me.
Can you remember whether you actually passed through the checkout when the cashier started accusing you?
Czy pamięta Pani ten moment, kiedy przychodziła koło kasy, kiedy kasjer zaczął Panią oskarżać?
Tak, myślę, że tak. Już wtedy przeszłam przez kasę. Byłam już przy wyjściu w drzwiach.
Yes, I think so. I think it was just after I passed the checkout and I was at the doorway.
Ale czy możemy teraz porozmawiać o tym, co się będzie działo jutro rano?
But can we talk about what's going to happen tomorrow?
The candidate has prepared herself well for this particular option and has been practicing her interpreting skills. Note the speed at which the candidate speaks, not too slowly and not too quickly, and that she gives herself time to formulate English sentences properly. Her English is straightforward and she uses uncomplicated sentences.
Ale nie będę musiała już tutaj wracać, prawda? Mam serdecznie dosyć tej mordowni.
But I don't have to go back in here. I'm really fed up with this place.
That shouldn't happen, no. I'll be making an application in court that you be granted continuing bail, and I really can't see that there would be any objections to that.
Nie, to nie powinno się zdarzyć. Złożę wniosek do sądu o przyznanie dodatkowej kaucji. Nie widzę, żeby były jakieś problemy z tym.
Bear in mind, though, that bail can be revoked if the conditions are breached.
Ale proszę pamiętać, że kaucja może zostać, warunki kaucji mogą zostać zniesione, jeżeli jej wyznaczone warunki zostaną złamane.
But the important thing tomorrow is that you be ready with your decision on how to plead.
Ale ważne jest, żeby wiedziała Pani jutro, czy przyzna się, czy nie przyzna do winy.
Przyznam się albo nie, rozumiem, ale i tak nie mogę się uspokoić i cała jestem nabuzowana. Pewnie do jutra rana zdążę sobie to wszystko jakoś w głowie poukładać.
Yes, guilty or not guilty, got it. I'm worried about getting mixed up, but till morning it will be sorted.
The candidate makes no eye contact, and the meaning is once again not correctly conveyed.
Ale nie będę musiała już tutaj wracać, prawda? Mam serdecznie dosyć tej mordowni.
But I won't have to go back in here. I'm really fed up of this place.
That shouldn't happen, no. I'll be making an application in court that you be granted continuing bail, and I really can't see that there would be any objections to that.
Nie powinno to się wydarzyć. Złożę wniosek do sądu, aby przyznali Pani kontynuację kaucji i nie wydaje mi się, że będą nikt się nie sprzeciwi temu, żeby Pani to przyznać.
Bear in mind, though, that bail can be revoked if the conditions are breached.
Proszę jednak pamiętać o tym, że kaucja może zostać wycofana, jeżeli jej warunki zostaną złamane.
But the important thing tomorrow is that you be ready with your decision on how to plead.
Ważne jest, aby jutro rano była Pani gotowa i podjętą decyzją na temat tego, czy przyzna się Pani do winy, czy nie.
Przyznam się albo nie, rozumiem, ale i tak nie mogę się uspokoić i cała jestem nabuzowana. Pewnie do jutra rana zdążę sobie to jakoś wszystko w głowie poukładać.
Okay, I understand. I have to plead guilty or not guilty. I'm a bit mixed up just now, but I will have sorted it out in my mind before morning.
No problem. Call around to our offices sometime after you leave here today and we'll talk further.
Nie ma problemu, proszę zadzwonić do mnie jeszcze dzisiaj i porozmawiamy o tym dokładniej.
That is the end of task 1A.
The candidate is aware that she is interpreting for these two people and makes a conscious effort to look at them, thus rendering her interpretation much more credible and acceptable. The candidate knows her English and is aware of the most common mistakes in her language combination. The candidate will now carry on and complete task 1B. This task is not shown on this DVD, but follows exactly the same process as for task 1A. Part 2. Sight translation.
Here's the sight translation. You have 5 minutes to study the text. At this stage, you're not allowed to take any notes or to annotate or mark the text in any way. Okay?
Thank you.
DPSI 2008, candidate number 1001976, English Law, Task 2A, Sight Translation into English. DPSI 2008, candidate number 1001976, English Law, Task 2A, Sight Translation into English.
Okay, is everybody ready? So let's continue with the exam.
Dear Sir and Madam, recently in a shop which belongs to your branch, which sells electronic equipment, I tried to buy a PC set for installments.
The candidate is having difficulty with the sight translation. She is taking too long, is translating too slowly, and is not showing any confidence. Remember, candidates only have 5 minutes to complete the sight translation. If the candidate takes longer than the stipulated time, then the examiner will note this on the mark sheet. In exceptional circumstances, i.e., if the candidate is having difficulty in completing the sight translation, then the examiner may stop the examination. For the sight translation, candidates need to ensure that their pronunciation is clear, their knowledge of English syntax and grammar is strong, the pace of the translation is adequate, and that their general knowledge of the option they have chosen, in this case law, is strong. The candidate will now carry on and complete Task 2B. Task 2B is sight translation into Polish. This task is not shown on this DVD, but follows exactly the same process as for Task 2A. That is the end of the oral examination. The candidate will now leave the examination room. The centre must ensure that the candidate does not communicate with any other candidates who are still waiting to take their examination. At the end of the examining day, a member of the centre staff has to package all the examination papers, check they have received a sealed envelope containing examination material and tapes from each examiner, and send them back to the CIoL Educational Trust using the special delivery service.